Look at these.
Oh, tiles. Oh, yeah.
They are
Some of those,
stuck to each other.
yeah, yeah. Well, some of them, quite a lot of them look like hunting arrows,
Yeah.
uh, though they're still anti-personnel. I mean, if the people attacking you aren't wearing armor, then a hunting arrow works just as well as a regular. In fact, sometimes better because it causes more
Mhm.
hemorrhaging.
Hey, look
The
at
one
this.
that's
Is it
got the,
chisel head? Look at this. What is this?
it's hard to say. There were arrowheads certainly used in Mongolia and North China that are shaped like the front edge is slightly rounded, then it
Yeah,
tapers
like
in,
that.
and then
Exactly.
yeah. So it could be that, or it could be a really big broadhead,
Yeah.
because if that width is the width of the socket, it is for a catapult. It's not for an arrow,
Yeah, absolutely.
um, or a javelin, small javelin. The one with the really long blade, look how the rust has cut away the edges into a squiggly shape.
This one.
The
Look
one
at
on,
this one.
yeah,
Yeah.
the one on the right. Yeah, I mean
Looks
that's,
like a
but
saw.
yeah, but just think that that looks like the blade was about that long. That's a massively long blade for an arrowhead.
Yeah.
Um, but there's a lot of different shapes.
Mm.
Mostly sockets, some with very slender sockets, which probably meant the arrows were barrel.
Mm.
Some with quite broad sockets. I would say that there are the remains of a javelin in there, because if you look at the just below the top row of arrowheads, there's a long spike with a socket.
Mm.
And then below that is this very big blade that's all bent and wobbly. That might be the two ends of a javelin, or not necessarily the same javelin, but a long spike like that's not much use for an arrowhead or even a ballista head, but it would be good as a butt spike for a spear or some kind of long javelin.
Yeah.
And judging by the size of the arrowheads, the sockets, I mean, that looks at least four times the area of the average arrowhead there. So it's probably for something about that big as opposed to something about that big. Um,
Yeah.
when they're all, I mean, if they're found in a pile like that, they probably were put in a, a bucket or something for scrap to be um, reforged into something else. So it may not have a necessarily uh, a contextual relationship to each other. They may have just been, this is a massive ones we can't fix. We'll put them over there and we'll melt them down or reforge them or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, Roman forts often have these scrap pits in them where things are being put to be
Mm.
repurposed afterwards.
Yes.
Because I mean, metal is valuable. Ah, pilum heads.
Pyramids. Yes.
Mm.
Beautiful. Look at the pyramid. Original ones. Unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah, and the at least the one on the top's been thrown at something hard in its lifetime. I've seen a lot of people with modern reproductions of these demonstrating how absolutely deadly they are against shields. I mean, if you ever needed any proof that these were well designed, uh, you just have to see what happens when someone throws them against a well-made shield, and they just puncture all the way up to the socket, which means you're holding the shield there, and that blade comes all the way through and still hits you.
It is.
Um, the smaller ones, I think they got smaller as time went by, as less and less people use that type of shield.
Mhm.
Because I mean, all these things are solutions to problems.
Mhm.
When the problem disappears, the solution disappears as well.
What kind of problems do you mean?
Well, the problem is, say your enemies are using oval, big oval boss grip shields, so they hold them in the center like that,
Yes.
and they're quite difficult to get past with a sword or a regular spear.
Yeah.
Then you develop a spear, and I think there's a good evidence they were developed in Spain
Mhm.
that will puncture the shield, which is almost impossible to pull out of because you've got to actually put the shield down and put your feet on it to pull it out. So all of a sudden, that guy, that section of the line, is not doing anything useful. And if it actually hits him, it's even worse. Now, the funny thing is, shields shapes changed and sizes changed,
Yes.
and the methods of fighting. Because you can't. I know there's some people, really good athletes, and can throw these quite far, but you really can't throw them very far. So
No.
therefore, when two groups of soldiers are coming close together, and they're maybe 5 to 10 meters apart, you throw these. They stick in the opponent's shield. They weigh it down. His shield goes down like that, or it's stuck into his arm or his chest or something like that. Then that line of shields is broken because there's a guy here and there's a guy there whose shields don't work anymore. And you're really close. So you whip out your gladius or whatever you've got and charge in and start breaking up their line. Now that worked really well, but warfare methods changed. It doesn't work very well against people in open formation
No.
because they can dodge. I mean, if you're all lined up close to each other, you can't dodge. So you're going to get hit by whatever's thrown at you. Whether it hurts you or not depends on the quality of your shield or your armor or the angle it's coming in. But if you're in open formation or you're in forests or something, then that's not as effective because its range is short.
Yes.
And I mean, if you hit someone with them, they're out of it. But it doesn't break up the formation or anything like that. Its tactical effect is less. So I mean, there's no way I would like to get hit by one of those under any circumstances
And
as
these
an
are
individual.
reconstructions of them.
Yeah, well, see, this is it. You see just how long those iron points are on the
Yes,
pillar.
very long. Yes.
I mean, they're
Scary.
seriously nasty. The spears are much more like regular spears everywhere.
Yeah.
And originally the Romans, like in the Republican days, may have had three lines with people with like hoplite shields and spears, or some kind of shield and spear, with the back line, then the middle line, and the front line were guys with pilums and scooter type shields, which they threw the pilums and then went in hand to hand. But the guys at the back, the triarii, I think they're called, they were they would stay back, and if the front lines broke, they would run and get behind the other guys, and their regular spear and shield would stop cavalry or things like that happening. Gee, there's a lot of this stuff. That's the boss from a shield.
Yeah.
Looks like a nice hat, but it's to protect your hand on the shield.
Yes.
You can see it appears to me that on the extreme left, that looks like the butt of a spear, the iron
Yes.
butt that so
It
you can
is
stick it in the
spear
ground.
butt.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and they've got a reproduction above it to show you just how
Yes.
it's used. Some weird little bladey things that I'm not quite sure what they are. And then lots of regular javelin and spear blades and
Yes.
those arrowheads that we saw earlier. I
Yeah.
mean, the reproductions are very good at giving you an idea of how the things fit.
Yes.
Oh, see, that's it. It's a whole range of spear or javelin butts.
Yes.
The advantages of these, aside from the fact if someone lops off your spearhead, you can still spike them with the back end of the spear. But if you're standing around, you can just stick it in the ground
Yes.
and it stands up. So it doesn't lay down, it doesn't get damp, it doesn't curve. I mean, the worst thing you can do with a spear is lean it against a wall, particularly if it's wet weather. Actually, my spears I hang from hooks so that that doesn't happen. These are all good spear blade shapes.
Yes.
The one to the extreme right is very much like you'd see on a Greek spear, a dory.
Yes.
The ones on the extreme left, I'm not really sure. The third one from the left has got quite a strong point on it. Again, I think it's a butt spike. Then you've got three javelin heads, then another javelin head, then a spearhead and a spearhead. So they're showing that, because Romans had light troops, velites, who threw javelins, maybe 5 or 6 feet long. And they would go in and chuck javelins into the enemy lines, hoping to make gaps or cause trouble. Then the legion would come in and then try and roll over them. And if there's gaps in the line, then the line starts to break up. When the line starts to break up, people start to panic.
Yes.
And that's how, particularly in ancient warfare, battles were won. See, that's interesting. Those three pilum heads there, one
Yeah.
is a forged socket,
Yeah.
one appears to be a tang,
Yeah.
and possibly there was a conical
Yeah.
ferrule around the end of the
Yes.
pilum to stop it splitting. And the bottom one appears to be a split socket that was
Split
probably
socket. Yeah.
riveted on.
Here,
So these are,
it means this one split socket, right, guys? This one. This
yeah.
one is a
I mean,
socket.
that could be,
This one
yeah,
tanked. Yeah.
yeah. And that, all of that makes perfect sense. You
Yes.
notice how small the heads are
Yes.
because they just want to punch a hole big enough to get that long neck in. And once it's in, it just keeps going.
Keeps going. Yes.
Um, and the other thing is that the particular little pyramidal ones, from modern people that I've seen on things like YouTube, trying to pull them out of a shield, they're really hard to get out. So that therefore, if someone threw one of those into your shield and your shield became unwieldy, oh, using your left hand if you're right-handed, you couldn't just pull it out easily. You had to put your shield down and stand on it and wrench it out, which of course means the whole battle line is confused. Because if the guy that threw it's only 10 meters away, he's on top of you. So
Yes.
you can't afford to do that, but you can't hold your shield up straight because there's this long piece of iron in it with a wooden handle on the end that's going up and down.
Yes.
So it's a very good way of putting people out of combat. Back to tools. These are
Yes, these
blacksmithing
are
tools.
exactly. I wanted to say a blacksmith tool on a German. I say on a Roman fortification, not German, on a Roman fortification. Yes, yes.
So it looks like files,
Hmm.
peening hammers, and tongs for holding hot metal. Little anvils on the right.
Yes, little
That
and
type of anvil still used in the Middle East, where you have like a thing that you hammer into a piece of wood.
yes,
I've seen them used in like by coppersmiths in videos from say Isfahan or somewhere like
yes.
that.
They use it. Yes,
So it's this
yes,
is not forgotten. I think it's important that because things look a bit different in the West today, because we've had 200 years of industrial production, it doesn't mean that the techniques or the technology is completely lost
no,
because it works really well under the circumstances where you need. I like their nails,
yeah,
solid. Oh, that anvil block has a groove in it for making nails, and they've got a nail in there to show you.
yes, yes.
And
That's what
all,
bead means here. Exactly here. This is a nail head here. Yeah, here exactly.
yeah, that's really good.
That's
See,
really
these are all, I mean, the very small anvils are often for doing little domed work and things like
yes,
that. Um, the tongs are really not. There's really tiny anvils there too,
yes,
maybe for silversmithing or something like that.
yeah. Very.
A good solid hammer there,
Yeah.
and specially shaped hammers for different types of work on metal. So it's really a complete, well, not complete, but a good cross section of the different types of hammers you needed in your metalworking
Mm.
procedure. I believe one of the first things they teach apprentice blacksmiths how to make is how to make your own set of tongs. Because classically, if you were trained as a blacksmith, you would make all your own tools.
Yes.
That's part of the learning process. So you didn't go to a shop in the corner of in the fortification to the tool maker's shop where you had, oh, there's 50 hammers there. No, no, no. You either made your own tools or your friend the blacksmith made you one and sold it to you.
Yes. Look at this one, Speed.
It's amazing. This
Yeah.
maybe that's a shovel for shoveling uh the charcoal into the
Yes,
furnace or
charcoal.
something. Uh oh yeah, there's so many things. There's a lock with a chain,
Yes.
chain up your chariot, like chaining up your mask. Not
They have
really, but anyway.
everything here.
Yeah, that is amazing.
It is this museum is as if you go like 2000 years back to a Roman fortification, right?
I just realized the pile of stuff on the right were keys.
Yes. And look at this. This is a reconstruction of a Roman lock.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that they were really quite sophisticated.
Yeah.
Um,
It's nice, isn't it, Pete?
yeah. I mean, you just think about it. So the key goes through the rectangular hole, turns around, and it has a series of prongs on it that push
Yeah.
something. I really don't know how that works. I can see where the spring is. Uh, I assume they reach around and push those three bars down against the spring,
Mhm.
and that allows the bolt to come back and unlock. Uh, yeah,
Yes.
it's it's fascinating. I mean, of course, you didn't have people with a lot of experience on how to pick locks.
Yes.
Plus the fact that every lock was pretty much unique
Yes.
because I look at the keys. Well, the keys
Yes.
are amazing.
Amazing. Yes.
Oh, there's a wooden lock model
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. Keys
What
are
is it?
amazing. Yeah, they are.
Yeah. And I
Okay.
think you needed a lot of pressure to turn some of those too. They weren't
Yes.
that easy.
Yes. Oh, we saw them, right? Before.
Yeah.
Look at them. How many things they have in. Oh, unbelievable.
It's amazing. Yeah. I mean, just the sheer range of tools. Um, and I mean, as I say, there are people nowadays that use tools very similar, would know exactly what they're for. Even to the extent, as I said, a lot of blacksmiths make their own tools, so they know how they're made as well. It's not a lost art, even though this is 2,000 years ago or whatever. People still know how to do some of this. And if you're interested, you can probably find them. Yeah, again, tongs. Tongs are so important for blacksmithing.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course, most stuff is worked hot. So you have to be able to hold it without burning yourself.
Yeah.
And the tongs have to be tough enough they survive the experience. Oh, lots of nails. Are
Yeah.
they guys of some sort in the
I
front?
think so.
Yeah, they look it, don't they?
Yeah.
And there's reinforcing pieces for whatever. And rings, ring fittings, because ring fittings were put on doors and all kinds of
Yeah.
things. Because unlocking the door didn't necessarily mean it was easy to open. You still had to pull it out. Looks like some kind of tool there. That looks like parts of a lock
Yes.
or a hinge or something. Oh, they're nails going. So this could be a reinforcement on
Yeah.
a box, and these are big nails that are going through to hold
Yes.
everything in place. Or maybe, oh, well, they say large beam construction nails,
Yes.
iron fitting for fort gates. So these are parts of the
Yes.
reinforcement on gates and hinges and all kinds of things. Um, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you can see it once. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't have been able to work it out without the description. Yeah, that's impressive.
Impressive, really.
Mm. Remember how you sometimes see old medieval doors and they've got all these big nails all over them, and their purpose is to stop someone hacking through the door with an
You know,
axe.
it's humbling for us today to look what our ancestors knew already. It's really a humbling
Oh
experience.
yeah, I mean it's impressive. I mean, like as much as there's a lot to respect about Rome, you wouldn't want to live there. Uh, the lead pipes, for one thing, were a bad idea, but the skills. I remember seeing an exhibition from Pompeii, and they had all these taps and faucets and things made out of bronze. That if you saw them in a shop, you would think, oh, they're very decorative, but totally practical. You would never even think
Mm,
that they were almost 2,000 years old
yes.
because the technology is still current. So these look like for doing plastering.
Yes.
There's pieces of plaster there, so probably.
Yes.
It looks the wooden piece up the top looks like a float, which you use for smoothing the
Yes.
plaster. Yeah,
Yes.
this is impressive. The
Impressive, huh?
well, I mean, seriously, when I see people doing these things today, I'm impressed by their skill.
Yes. 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 Impressive.
And to think that people have been doing this for thousands of years very successfully, because look at how many Roman things survive. There's plumb bobs there, aren't there? Those two little things that look like conical tops.
Yes.
Therefore, hanging off strings
Here.
to get vertical lines.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, the Romans had a surveying instrument that had those on it too for when they're laying out streets and things. So they
Imagine you
couldn't
had
just,
a time machine and you could just go 2000 back, 2500 years back, and everything will be in pristine condition. You have a complete Roman fortification in this museum.
well, and watching how people did things.
Yeah.
But I
Unbelievable.
mean, intellectually, it's much more challenging to work it out from what's left. But
Yes.
yeah, there's the whole thing in the back. They've got
Yeah.
and again, I mean, modern plasterers work very similarly. There
Yes.
haven't been a lot of technical improvements, except for sometimes the plasters are more advanced.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
You see? Unbelievable beat.
So, so
Unbelievable.
these are fittings for fitting together.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
I'm trying to think. The French term is something like cheviste de fric. Uh,
Is it like a
but
palisade? What are they trying to make?
yeah, these are for stopping cavalry and things like
Yes.
that. And they were movable. You could pick, five men could pick them up and move them and rearrange your
Uh-huh.
fortifications. They often made them in the field when they were going to be attacked, particularly by cavalry, because it was good. You could hide from horsemen behind them quite well. Is that pieces of leather,
I don't know, beat.
like from a tent or something? Because they made leather tents,
Yes. Yes.
because they look like tent posts on the other picture.
Yes. And look,
Yeah, and just like modern ones, really.
unbelievable.
The other thing
Unbelievable.
you can use something like that for is to tie your horse to.
Yes. And look
Um,
at these.
oh, this is from the well.
Yes. Look at the
These are,
diagram.
yeah, well, the diagram is perfectly helpful. It's an the bucket is more barrel shaped, isn't it?
It is.
So I wonder if they did that because it poured better or it fitted down a narrower hole
Yeah.
without getting caught because it's shaped like that. The edges aren't going to get caught
Look,
as
Pete,
you
what
pull it
they
up.
all have found out in this excavation, right? Unbelievable.
This is a huge amount of information.
Yeah. And now agricultural tools on the fortification surrounding areas. Look.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I mean, a lot of those I can recognize because similar things are still used. I mean, obviously, most of this is mechanized now,
Yes.
but a lot of gardening tools are relatable to this.
Yes.
Um,
Look.
and
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, you can see, yeah, that's and another horse bit. Uh,
Yes.
but some of those, yeah, you can see handles for weird shaped fittings, maybe for a scythe or something like that.
So what they
Um,
found out, Pete, they had different areas of this fortification, and each area had its own
oh, right.
specialization, you know?
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
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 Like craftsmen's quarters in old
Yes.
towns.
Yes. Look.
Yeah,
Mm. That's fascinating, huh?
it is really is. I mean, again, this is what everyday people were using in their everyday life.
Mm.
I mean, how good is that?
That's why, with Beat, we do it here on Razmafzar channel. If you want to know the whole culture surrounding it, not only one weapon, I have, this is so limited. There is a surrounding culture around it, right?
Oh
Logistics
yeah.
around it.
Well, it's see that illustration of the wagon in the background. Now, it's not really obvious,
Yeah.
but Roman wagons, all the wheels were the same size, whereas modern wagons and coaches and that, the front wheels are smaller than the back wheels,
Yeah.
which makes it easier to turn. Now, the English word coach comes from a Hungarian town called Kocsi, I think.
Mhm.
And that type of wagon structure only got into Western Europe in the I think it was the 15th century. I think before then wheels were all the same size, and it was quite hard to turn in tight circles and things like that. The other thing to notice is it's not horses pulling the wagon, it's oxen.
Yes, oxen. Yes.
because it wasn't until quite late that they developed harness in the West that allowed horses to pull wagons. Um, this is why chariots, which were developed much earlier than wagons, two wheels, very light,
Yeah.
they had a minimum of two horses on them because the horses were smaller, but also the harness
Yes.
tended to be less comfortable for the horse.
Yes.
So when they talk about, nomadic groups with their horse-drawn wagons, and they're talking about, say, Scythian period or earlier, early Indo-Europeans, that's not real.
Mm.
They didn't have horse-drawn wagons because they didn't have the correct harness for it. They used
Yes.
harness that worked on oxens, which have
Yes.
a thing where you can rest the yoke against
Yes.
on their necks,
Mm.
which horses don't have. So they could use horses for chariots when they bred larger ones, like 1,000 BCE. They could ride them,
Mm.
but it was a long time before they could efficiently use them for pulling
Yes.
wagons. So if you see old paintings from Europe, say the Lotral Psalter and things like that from England or France or Germany, if they've got horses pulling wagons, there's usually a lot of horses,
Mm.
like 4 to 6, because the harness was inefficient and the horses couldn't do it. Now that's a well-made wheel, isn't it?
Yes. Look at this.
See, this is it. Wheels, making really good wheels developed really early. Strangely, yeah, I know. I know. In movies, you often see the solid wheels, which they did make. I mean, that's a real thing. But making really good quality spoke wheels goes back a long way, like 1500
But
BCE.
isn't it amazing what they have excavated? Unbelievable, huh?
Imagine digging that up out of the ground. I mean, seriously, it's wood. I mean, it's got an iron tire, I think.
Yes.
But iron rusts, wood degenerates. Look at how much of that survived. You can see the individual tenons on the spokes that fitted into the hub.
Yes,
I
you
mean,
can.
it's incredible to think that survived. And planes?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's not something I expected to see.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of these had survived.
They have also
And they're so,
reconstructions of them. You see that? Hmm.
oh yeah, the reconstructions are really good at showing what the originals. See, the second one from the left
Yeah.
is reconstructed, I think, on the second last reconstruction.
Excuse me. Let me show it. Excuse me, Pete. You
Yeah,
mean this one and this one,
yeah,
correct? Exactly.
yeah. Now, I mean, the fact that the actual original is in such good condition, I mean, obviously it's really fragile and everything like that. That's amazing. That's a high angle plane, which is used for, I think, for smoothing. My
Yes.
plane knowledge is not extensive. But those planes seem to be quite ergonomically designed. Like they've got a slot in the front for the front hand and
Yes.
and uh, a shape back for pushing. The
Yes.
one at the extreme right, the reconstructed one, is much more like a modern plane,
Yeah.
where you have a forward handle and you push at the back of the plane. Like I
Yes.
just realized I was on camera when I was doing that. Um, but the Roman ones, these are narrow for probably specific purposes. Planes, attract a lot of invention. I'm looking also at the one at the extreme left where like the sole, the part that slides along the wood, the rivets that held the wooden pieces in place, the framework where that allowed the blade to be wedged in place at the correct angle. This is amazing to see. I mean,
Mhm.
when you consider, well, the third from the left, which is basically a flat piece of steel with a slot and four rivets,
Yes.
that's what I would expect to survive.
Yes. This
These
one,
look
you mean this one.
carbonized,
This
so
one.
they might have been burnt, and that might have been the reason that things survived.
Yes.
But it's really interesting. The reconstructions are really good to give you an idea. I
Yes.
wonder what modern skilled woodworkers would think of planes like this. I mean, I know how to use a plane roughly, but a skilled woodworker would see things in that we can't see because they know what advantage one thing or
Yes.
the other would give.
Absolutely. They say carpenter tool here, right?
Hmm. So They look. It looks like
Okay,
a bit
let me
like.
see. Yeah,
Oh yeah, this is a lot more stuff. Yeah.
yeah,
So they're auger bits for boring.
yeah.
Um, more chisels.
Chisels, yes.
Part of a saw.
Yes,
Oh,
part
that's
of the saw.
interesting.
Yeah, part of the saw.
If the tooth profile is correct, see, early saws, the teeth just had, they were just triangles. They didn't angle one way or the other. Then two different types of saws were invented. One where the teeth angle back, so they cut when you pull them, and one where the teeth angle forward, so they cut when you push them. Um, so this is really quite interesting. The auger bits are really, they could be modern. You wouldn't know. that's that's how uh, well
Look
they
at
are.
these.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're demonstrating a bow drill
yeah,
in the picture.
yes,
This is a very efficient way of drilling and very precise.
yes,
Um, Bow drills are still used by some jewelers for very precise drilling
yes.
because you've got a lot of control, whereas the electric drills and Dremels and whatnot are good, but they're not as good as that for that one purpose. But once upon a time, that was the major type of drill. Um, the They've got a frame saw hanging on the wall, and frame saws were used from Rome to China, um, and they were very popular in European woodworking right up into the 18th century, I think. Shears
Hmm.
for various things you're cutting,
Yes,
more adzes.
yes,
Um, that appears to be a little anvil with a base plate
yes.
to be hammered into a log.
Yeah, true.
Uh,
It's amazing,
is,
Pete.
is
Look
that
at these ones.
scythe blades for
These are
cutting
now
grain?
again back to agriculture, Landarbeit, as they call it, gardening and
Yeah,
agriculture. Uh,
yeah. Well, there's a big hay fork there
yeah,
for forking hay into your barn or whatever.
yes.
See, all this stuff. I mean, again, I can see now that that was an anvil, the thing that looks like a spinning top, and you
Ah,
can
okay.
see a little anvil in a log there.
Yes.
Um, yeah, see, those size people still. Oh, somebody in my archery club explained exactly how to use a scythe to me because when she was a girl in Poland, they still used to cut the grass with them, and she reckoned it was better exercise than using a lawnmower. So sufficient. I mean, you can cut really large areas. So when they were cutting fodder for cattle or horses, several men working with these could completely cut a field. I mean, we don't, because we don't do it very often. We don't realize how efficient. Again,